So finding that nice comfortable position and just starting to bring the shoulders up to the ears, back and down, maybe closing the eyes and rolling the shoulders 2 or 3 times, just finding a little bit of movement. Give them a big squeeze up to the ears and big exhales. Start to let them go. One more big inhale, squeeze everything in and up. Exhale, let it all go. And just close down those eyes if they're not already. And start to tune into the breath. So just taking these first few moments to forget whatever's happened today or this week, forgetting anything that's ahead of you, and arriving on your mat. Tuning into your breath and starting to clear the mind. If you notice the mind is busy with thoughts, just start to monitor the breath and tell yourself, give the command, breathing in, breathing out. Starting with simply witnessing the breath and following the breath, trying not to change it. We witness and notice as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And then starting to influence the breath. Breathing in, full it in through the nose, filling up the belly. And as you exhale, exhaling through the mouth, allowing belly to drop back to spine. In through the nose, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. So continuing your inhale and exhale, perhaps counting this breath. In for at least a count of 4, whether that's slow or fast for you. Exhaling for a count of 4. So inhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold at the top. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the bottom. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. And continue 1 or 2 more rounds in your own time. Inhale for 4, hold for 2. Exhale for 4. Relax or pause for 2. And then just coming back to any count of belly breath. Just allowing it to be whatever it wants to be. Still breathing in through the nose, filling up the belly. Still exhaling through the mouth, allowing belly to drop back in towards the spine. I'm going to take a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. So just placing the right hand, first 2 fingers into the third eye, closing the thumb over the right nostril. So breathing in and out just of the left side, just for a couple of breaths. Filling up that belly still on the inhale, dropping belly on the exhale. And swapping sides, closing the left nostril with the ring finger, inhaling through the right. And then we're going to come to the alternate breath. So in through the left, out through the right, back in through the right and out through the left. So keep alternating this breath. Any count that feels comfortable, or give it a count of 4 if you want to have a count. In through the left, out through the right, back in through the right, and out through the left. Very sorry about the background music. Seriously, my love. In through the left, we're going to hold the breath at the top. Out through the right. Back in through the right. Holding the breath at the top. Out through the left. So making it any count, maybe keeping that rhythm that we had before, in for a count of 4, out for a count of 4, and holding for 2 at the top. Or if you feel comfortable, we can keep each phase at a count of 4. So in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, back in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 4. And for the final round, just adding in the external retention. So in through the left, hold at the top, out through the right, and hold at the bottom of the breath. In through the right, hold again at the top, and out through the left, hold again at the bottom. So internal and external retention. So again, with either that 2-to-1 ratio or keeping both phases the same count. When you finish on your left hand exhalation next, just allow the other hand to drop, come back to the belly breath. So we're just going to do a little bit of chanting meditation. If you don't want to chant, feel free to just receive and listen in. And you're going to picture each part of the chakras for each of the chants. So, in the background. So remembering that we start at the base chakra just underneath the sit bones, and then the tummy is the navel, the solar plexus, so the area just below the rib cage, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat, third eye, and crown. So each part has a different sound to it, and I'll repeat it through a few times. So as I repeat, you might start to listen and hear and understand each word, and then you might want to follow, and you might want to chant yourself. If you don't want to chant, if it's not appropriate where you are, then just listening in and visualizing each part. So we are explain it first. So it's Lam, which is the root chakra, Vam, which is the belly, Ram, which is the solar plexus, Yam for the heart, Hum, Om, Om. So if it helps you to visualize the word, it's RAM, LAM. It's the AM, but in Sanskrit it's pronounced Om as opposed to Lam, Vam, Ram. So Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, Om, Om. So Om and Om being the universal sound. If you're going, I don't think I'm going to keep up with that, that's fine. Just thinking about moving up the chakras with each word or each sound. So if you want to join me, joining in. Otherwise, just closing the eye. Just taking another round of belly breath to settle. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, Om, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, Om, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Om, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Hum, Yam, Om, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Hum, Om, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Hum, Om, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Hayam, Hum, Om, Om. Completing one more round if you'd like to, or just if you did the chanting, notice any vibrations or any energy movement through the body. And if you just receive, just think in that surrender and receiving mode. And if you did it and you said all the wrong words, don't worry. It's also part of the So just slowly starting to blink open these. I'm just going to move back to the mat. You can still hear me from here. Just starting to get some movement into the spine. So just bringing the chin to the chest, rounding through the upper back. Exhaling. Inhaling, lifting to open. Exhale to round and lower. Inhaling, lifting and opening. Just moving between the two in your own time with your own breath. And then coming back to the center, sliding the rib cage to one side and over the other, trying to keep the sit bones nice and grounded. Maybe even pushing away hands to give a little bit of extra length and stretch. And then taking this into belly dancing, those ribs around the hips. And reversing those circles to roll in the opposite direction. And coming back to the center. Placing one hand down, lifting the other arm up and over the C shape into the spine. Breathe into the space between the ribs and the hips. Inhale and exhale over to the other side. Big inhale to lift. Take one hand on the opposite knee. Lift through the crown of the head as you turn. Inhaling back to center. Exhale to twist and lift. Inhaling, coming back to center, rolling over those knees, all fours. So grounding through the underside of the knuckles. And just a few rocks to warm up the wrists and the hands, rocking forwards, backwards, gripping in fingertips. The only problem, Peter, you're going to be like me, just constantly looking sideways now. Then have a little twist of those fingers to face the knees and a stretch, or just sitting back, or if it feels good to rock, you can rock here. And then walking closer together, toes staying tucked under, just sitting the heels back and giving those wrists a little release, stretching the feet while we're here. We're going to take one arm up and over. We're going to push that elbow back to see how far we can get the hand down the back of the body. And we can stay here, stretch the triangle, we release the opposite hand and see if we can bind behind. We're going as far as you can. If you can't quite reach the bind, don't worry. If you've got it, holding, you can just take that first step to push the elbow back. Big deep inhale, big exhale to release. Oh dear, I made the mistake of looking at you. Just arms, give the arms a little roll. So take them up and over, use the other hand to just push that elbow back. 97 minutes. Okay. And then top hand and see if we can find the bind. No, quite. And then release that bind. Just untuck the toes the other way, forwards. Kisses in the face. So coming up onto tented fingers, placing the forehead down, creeping those hands away from the body. Mali, no. She's brushing my hair now. How very lovely. How very lovely. Finding a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then walking those hands forwards, bringing the hips so that they're in line with the knees. Keep walking the hands forwards, pressing into the heels of the hands to drop the chest down. So the chest is coming down, either the chin rests or the forehead rests onto the floor. One more round of breath. Melting heart pose. And then just pushing into the hands, walking back up, coming to all fours, and then walking the hands forwards just one hand's length. So not coming too far forwards, just a little bit of extra length forwards in your all fours position. Lifting the left arm, start to peel up towards the left side, twisting. And then we're going to thread the needle. So threading that left arm under, tapping the back of the hand down. Big inhale, pushing back up, lifting, twisting open. Exhale, thread the arm through, threading the needle. Inhale, lifting, last one, big inhale to lift, exhale, coming all the way through. And as you come through to thread the needle, keep the hand, left hand down and start to drag the left hip back towards the left side. The right hand might come closer to support. And we're really trying to pull that shoulder blade open, left hip's coming back through to center. Enjoying that lovely upper back twist and open. One more round of breath here. Inhale, we push on that right hand to come back to center. We'll go to the other side. So inhale, start to lift the right arm, stretching up to the ceiling. Exhale, post it through, bending into the left arm. Inhale, opening, lifting up. Exhale. We bought Mali a really noisy new toy today. That's handy, isn't it? Inhale, lifting and opening. Exhale, draw that arm in and through, holding this time, maybe just adjusting the left hand closer, tractioning that arm along the mat and bringing the right hips over to the right side. Big deep inhale to belly, exhaling to let go. On the next exhale, big push to come back to center. Start to tuck the toes under, lift the hips, walk the feet to the hands or the hands to the feet. Feet can stay hip distance and find that fold. So elbows clasped, just give yourself a nice little sway side to side or forwards, backwards. Just allowing gravity to get that upper back open, back to the legs start to feel that stretch. One more round of breath. On the next inhale, release the arms, walk the hands up to the shins, underneath the knees. Find that long spine, crown of the head reaching. Exhaling to fold. Big inhale, sweep the arms wide, coming up to extended mountain hands overhead. Squeeze the glutes, little baby back bend. Exhaling, hands down to mountain. So shoulders down and back to set your mountain, grounding through the toes. Feet come together, so big toe mounds are touching, a little gap between the heels. Soft bend in the knees. So just taking a moment to close your eyes in your mountain pose. Feel grounded. And then blinking, open the eyes. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, diving forwards, chest and chin leading. Inhale, fingertips or shins for that flat back. Exhaling to fold. Stepping back to that first one into our plank. We can bend the knees if we need to. Squeeze the elbows into lower down. Hover or all the way to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog if you feel ready. Exhale, hips high and back into that first down dog. Just walking and pedaling each heel when you arrive. Giving each leg a little gentle lengthen one by one. Maybe a little wriggle of the hips. Maybe taking a moment to also lift onto both toes and roll to the outside edge of the right foot, bringing the left heel down, feeling that nice stretch along the left side of the body, all twisted, down facing dog. Inhale, pivoting on the toes, lifting up, coming onto the left heel and right inside of the foot. Pushing back still to really feel the twist and lengthen on the right side of the body. Inhale, come back to center and just finding stillness in that down dog. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let go of any tension in the neck. Inhale, looking between the hands, bend the knees, step or jump the feet to the hands. Come to that halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Sweep the arms wide enough, inhaling. Exhaling the hands back down. We'll go again. Surya Namaskar A. Inhaling to lift, exhaling, diving forwards into your fold. Inhale, fingertips or shins. Exhale as you fold, stepping or jumping back if you're ready to land in chaturanga, elbows bent. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips high and back into down dog. So connecting to your belly breath here, in through the nose, filling up, exhaling, letting go. Hips lifting, up and back, lengthening through those heels. One more round of breath, building that inner fire. Inhale, looking forwards, bend the knees, step or jump the feet to the hands, come to that halfway lift. Exhaling to fold, sweep the arms, widen up. Exhaling the hands back down. So sitting the bottom back, sweep the arms forwards or up, tucking that tailbone under, finding that lovely chair pose. You're going to take an extra round of breath here. Exhaling as you fold. Inhale, fingertips or shins. Exhale to fold. Step, or again jumping but landing in chaturanga. If you jump, exhale to lower otherwise. Inhale, baby cobra, up dog. Exhale, hips high and back, down dog. This time, left foot turns 45 degrees. Bring the right foot between the hands. A little help if you need. Inhale, coming up. High lunge. Shoulders down the back, reaching through fingertips. Sorry, warrior one. Where are we? Beautiful. So just taking a breath there, finding the outside edge of that back foot. Bending that front knee a little bit more. Pulling tummy in gently. Big inhale, frame that front foot. Lift the right foot back to plank. Chaturanga, exhaling. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, hips high and back, down dog. So right foot turns 45 degrees, bring the left foot between the hands, a little help if you need. Inhale, sweeping arms up, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Shoulders down and back, reaching fingertips long. Finding the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale. Frame the front foot, lift it behind, squeezing elbows through, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, exhale. You can push back through that little child's pose or lift the hips straight up into down dog. So just making sure shoulder blades are pushing away from one another. Fingertips grounding into the mat. Finding that big, sweet release on the exhale. One more round of breath. Looking between the hands, bend the knees, step or jump the feet in. Exhale as you fold. Inhale. Oh, missing chance. Chair pose, I cheated. Sweep your arms forward. Tailbones tucked under. And we're just going to stay for one more round. So check you can see your toes, give them a little wriggle, maybe looking up if the neck feels comfortable. Take a little twist. So bringing the hands through prayer at heart center. Just taking left knee to, left elbow to right knee. And rotating towards. So tuck that tailbone under, keep breathing. One more round of breath. Lifting the chest, coming back through center, taking that right elbow to left knee, rotating towards, use that traction against knee to elbow. Finding that lovely twist. And then folding forward, letting it all go. Just walk the feet hip distance. Grabbing hold of the big toes with the peace fingers, making a little circle with the thumb. Inhale, come to that halfway lift, flat back, exhale. Draw the elbows wide, drawing the chin to the shins. And finding those lovely big inhales and exhales. Filling up on the inhale, big exhale with a sigh. Let it all go. 2 or 3 of these. Big cleansing breath. One more round of a quieter, more relaxed, steady breath. Untucking fingers and toes. Inhale, come to the halfway lift. Taking a slightly different variation today, you may want to bring your feet closer together or keeping them hip distance. We're going to bring the hands to the backs of the shins or near the Achilles. So as we fold, we're trying to draw the insides of the forearms down the backs of the legs. You might need to bend the knees a little bit to begin with and then start to lift the hips as you fold. Letting that head hang. Just noticing the subtle differences between our normal folds to when we clasp behind the legs. Allow those arms to drape. Walk the hands up the shins as you start to lift and open through the chest and collarbones. Nice flat back, hands on the hips coming up to stand. I'm going to take triangles. So taking your right foot to the front of your mat, left foot back, Left foot slightly turned in, just opening out the hips to the long edge of your mat. Shoulders down and back. Reach the left hip backwards, reach forwards over that right foot, tipping to find your triangle. So front leg stays straight, little soft bend if you need. And imagine you're squeezing between two panes of glass, so tucking that tailbone under, pushing that left hip forwards, opening the left shoulder up towards the sky. So not too wide of a stance. We're about 3/4 of our mat length. Nice. So breathing, looking up to that top hand or looking down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more breath. We're going to bend into that front knee. Start to take the weight over the front leg. See if you can step or hover that back leg in and up, coming into half moon. So we're keeping everything open. So we might lift the chest and come to star. We might be a little bit higher. But if we keep that chest low, we start to find that T shape with the top of the left side of the body coming into floating half moon. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. So we can bend that front knee, come back down through our triangle. We're going to lift both hands up, bring the toes to face outwards, heels to face inwards, standing star. Big inhale, drawing that energy. Exhale, bending through the knees, bringing the elbows wide. Goddess pose. Beautiful. Tucking that tailbone under. Release the hands behind, interlace the fingers, start to open through the chest. Beautiful. If you want to go a little bit lower, drafting a little bit lower. If you want to wiggle, it feels better to wiggle, have a wiggle. One more round of breath. Big inhale, straighten the legs, turn the toes to face inwards, and exhaling, folding forwards, coming with those arms overhead. If the shoulders are sore, release the hands and allow the arms to ragdoll. Prasarita, that wide-legged fold. Finding a lovely few deep breaths. When we're in these folds, it's quite nice to take those cleansing breaths. So inhaling, filling up deeply, exhaling with a big sigh. Letting everything go with a bit of force. On the next inhale, lift with the head, lift with the arms, and come back up to stand. Just roll those shoulders, release. So turn the left foot to face the front, or maybe now the back of your mat. Right toes come in, facing slightly inwards, coming into triangle on our left leg. So send the right hip backwards, reach forwards over that left leg, tipping to find our triangle. So tucking that tailbone under again, pushing the right hip forwards. Oh, not forwards, backwards, isn't it? Peeling it backwards. Looking up to that top hand, maybe looking down if the neck feels like it's overworking at all. Squeezing our body between two panes of glass. One more breath. Beautiful triangles. Use that inhale to start to bend that front knee. Either stepping that back foot in 1 or 2 steps, or start to just squeeze and lift the back leg, coming into floating half moon. Banisters help, walls help, any help, curtains. One more breath. Bend that front knee, place the foot back down, coming back this time so feet are wide. Wiggle, heel toe those feet in, so heels are in, toes are out. And we're going to exhale, drop all the way down into a hindu squat. You may need to just adjust feet to come all the way down. So pushing knees, elbows into the knees, start to find a bit of length through the spine. Walls are totally useful here. You can definitely sit back against the wall or use a prop under the heels or underneath the bottom. So just gently lengthening through the back of the body. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Start to bring that right shoulder towards the knee and lengthen the arm out. Peel the left arm up towards the sky. Little twist, a little open. If you want to try and find the bind here, start to wrap that arm up and round. Left arm comes up and over, looking to bind. Give it a go, you might be closer than you think. Nice. And then releasing both arms. Bring the right hand, right shoulder to right knee. Peel the left arm up and open. Maybe just enjoying that twist, or again, looking here for the bind. Lifting the right shoulder up towards the ceiling, keeping that shoulder open. And releasing back to center. Start to push into the floor, lift the hips, walk the feet wide. Toes are still facing out and heels facing in this time. We're going to walk the hands over to the left foot, bending into the left knee. You're going to lift the right toes up. So we start to find Skandasana, this ninja squats. But enjoying the stretch when we get there. Start to lift and walk the hands over to the right leg, lifting left toes. So we can stay with this nice little walk, holding for 3 seconds or 1 round of breath at each side. If you want to work a little bit harder, if you want to find a little bit of strength like here, as we start to lift, we work through the legs and hands come to prayer. So we can hover between, finding the full variation ninja squats. Or we can just hold each side. And when you finish on that right side, coming back to center. So just turn the toes to face forwards, heels outwards. Leave the right hand on the floor. Peel the left arm up like a bow and arrow. Right hand is in the center. We come to a little twisted, extended, wide-legged fold. One more breath. Replacing that hand down, swapping hands. Peel the right arm up and open. Pushing the floor away with the left hand, looking up to the top hand or down to the bottom hand. Try and level off any hips that have come with you, and then ragdolling in that fold. So find your center, ragdolling the arms down, upper back relaxed. One more round of breath. Pushing into the hands, inhale, start to lift. Turn the left foot towards the right toes towards the front of the mat. Lift the left heel. We're coming into, we're in a supported high lunge. So keeping that back knee up, you can drop the back knee if you'd like. Big inhale, lift both arms towards the ceiling, hands into prayer. We're going to take the left elbow over the right knee, start to rotate, finding that extended side angle with a rotation. So I'll just swap so you can see. So that rotation, if you want to keep the hands at prayer or start to open them out, or maybe it's time to clap. It's 8 p.m. I can hear some clapping. This is a good position to clap in. My hands are together, so clapping, keeping our focus and balance whilst clapping, sending out that love and appreciation from our heart center. So start to bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Maybe walk round to the other side or swap legs if you need to swap over. So coming to that high lunge, left leg forward, right leg back. Inhale, coming up. Hands to heart center. You can take a little clap. Taking right elbow to left knee, twisting. So maybe instead of releasing hands, we can take that time to clap. Our hands, an extension of our heart. So sending love, even sending love through that hands to heart center prayer. You don't need to clap, we can just give the intention. Releasing the hands to the center, step the back foot into the front. Sit the bottom back coming up into chair pose. Hands to heart center. Listening in for the claps around you. Taking a moment to send out that love. Big inhale, release the legs, reach the arms overhead. Hands can stay at prayer, overhead, squeeze the glutes, looking up. Still taking these moments to send out love to all those who need it. Bringing hands back down to heart center. I'm going to start to come into trees, so turning the right foot out. My neighbour's doing it earlier. Louisa's gone off now to clap, but So maybe bringing that foot underneath the knee or giving it a little help to the inside of the thigh. And keeping those hands at heart center today. Not only sending out love to the NHS workers, but anybody else who may be struggling or suffering in any way, mentally, emotionally, physically, in these strange times. Helping send this strength and balance that we find ourselves in our tree pose. Centered, grounded energy. Carefully releasing that left leg down, right leg down, sorry, and swapping over to the left. Give that other side a little help in and up. Squeeze the heel into the thigh, thigh back into the heel. Taking the slightly easier version, bringing the foot to the calf. Hands at center. Intention is everything. Sending out that energy of gratitude, love, strength, balance, grounded, centered compassion. And gently releasing the legs. It takes a little walk through. We're going to come to standing half lotus as well. We're going to do the same side as you. So grounding into your left leg, start to bring the right knee up to the chest. And give that knee a big hug in, big squeeze. Start to take the foot behind. Give it a little stretch through the quads. Bring the leg back in and turn the knee wide. Lift the heel towards the belly button, then up on top of the opposite thigh. Keep hold of the left hand. Wrapping the right arm around, trying to find the elbow, maybe the forearm, maybe you can reach into the toes. So the more advanced version of tree, standing half lotus. Keep lifting tall through the crown of the head, keep the eye gaze fixed, finding that breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Releasing right hand, releasing right leg. Give that ankle a little circle. You might need a little rub. And just release the standing leg, circling over the ankle, over the toes. And swapping sides. So grounding into the right foot. Start to bring the left knee up to the chest. Give it a big hug in. Bring that foot behind and back, stretching through the front of the thigh. And bring the knee back up. Turn the knee wide. Lift the foot towards the belly button and up on top of the opposite thigh. Keep hold of the right hand. Start to wrap left hand to find the elbow, maybe forearm, maybe down towards the toes. Keep lifting through the crown. Did you clap, Louisa? One more breath. And gently release, just circling ankle if you need, releasing the knee. So coming back to the front of your mat, tops of your mat, just grounding through the toes. Tuck the tailbone under, reach shoulders down and back, just finding that mountain pose for a moment. Closing the eyes. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, diving forwards into that fold. Inhale, fingertips or shins for that lovely long flat back. Exhale to fold. Stepping, walking or jumping the feet back, bending the elbows to land. Baby cobra or up dog. And just pausing there, dropping the thighs, releasing the feet. And have a little look over one shoulder. You can drop down onto forearms if this feels too much. Take a little side stretch. Have a little look and swapping sides. Looking over the other shoulder, maybe noticing the difference between. And coming back to your center, just start to push the weight back, bring the knees nice and close, coming back into your child's pose. Maybe the hands come round to reach the feet and shoulders drop and relax forward. Just taking a moment in your child's pose. reconnect back to that breath. And then walking the hands back to center, just pushing and lifting the head, rolling onto the glutes and bringing the feet round in front. We'll come straight into butterfly, so just grounding through the sit bones, bring the soles of the feet together, draw them in close. And draw the soles of the feet open like a book, so using the thumbs to peel them wide. Knees drawing wide, squeeze the outside of the glutes to lower the knees, lift through the crown of the head, find length through the spine, and maybe adding that fold if you want a little bit more. Elbows pulling in close to ribs. Just finding a couple of rounds of belly breath. Maybe with each round you feel a little bit of lengthening, a little bit of lowering. Still folding at the hips, crown of the head reaching away from sit bones. Slowly sinking with each exhale. Inhaling, coming back to center, just get those knees a little lift. So bring that left foot underneath, right ankle comes to, right heel comes to the front of left ankle. Start to wrap the left arm, hugging that right knee underneath the armpit, or maybe taking the elbow to the outside of the knee. Start to push to rotate. Keep lifted. No, you're going the right way, Peter. That's it. Yep. I've come the same way as you, so I'm not mirroring you. That's it. So hugging opposite knee. I'm using elbow to take the twist a little bit further. Inhale, gently release. Give the legs a little swap over. So right foot comes under, left knee bent, hugging the left knee in. Start to wrap the right arm around the left leg and start to pull that knee underneath the armpit, or then it's just bringing that elbow to the outside of the knee to give that extra little twist. Lifting through the crown of the head, using the core to keep you lifted. One more breath. Inhaling back to center. And just finding that easy cross position so that the ankles are stacked or the shins look like or feel like they're parallel. Lift to find a bit of length through the spine. We're going to crawl forwards, keep pushing the weight into the hips so that both sit bones stay grounded. So maybe you come halfway, maybe elbows reach, maybe forearms reach, maybe you can keep going a little bit further, sinking in, keeping that weight pushing back. Maybe the forehead rests on the floor, you make a little stack of fists, you rest the forehead. Inhale, pushing up from the floor and swapping the easy cross. Inhale, lift, keep pushing back through those sit bones, walking hands forwards, keeping length through the spine, sit bones grounded. Maybe you feel a stretch in that hip, maybe you don't. Taking a round of belly breath when the head is relaxed. Inhale, pushing into your hands, start to walk and lift the head. And bring those legs back to center. So finding yourself on those sit bones, just grounding through the sit bones or lifting up to the crown of the head. Start to walk the feet back, lifting the toes, shoulders down and back, start to hover the feet off the floor. And then just start to bring one leg to 90 degrees, keeping the knees close and squeezing them together if you can. And then maybe bring the other leg up. Releasing the hands or keeping hold if you need to. Start to just tip back. We're still trying to keep that nice long line to V shape with our spines. Chest is proud, crown is long. Reaching up. Finding a breath. Maybe toes are pointed or flexed. Breathing. 3, 2, 1. Little gentle release, little cat-cow seated to open through the collarbones and chest, rounding through the spine. Inhale to lift, exhale to round. Inhale, lift the chest, find length, walk the feet back, maybe staying with the tiptoes down, maybe coming to 90 degrees, maybe starting to extend into that full boat pose. You can hold the thighs, you can release the hands, hands may come here or here to help keep you balanced. Breathing. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. See if you can, without dropping feet, slowly lower legs long as the torso comes down, and relax when you get there. Perfect. Good job. So just hug those knees into the chest when you get to the floor. My room is pretty cold. I'm going to put my top on. We are still working a little bit, but I'm just going to start to layer up. So hugging those knees in, give those knees a little circle in both directions. And reverse those circles. And then extending the left leg along the mat, squeeze the and hug the right knee in nice and tight. So we should feel that little pinch almost in the hip flexor. Keep extending the left heel down the floor, keep pulling the left toes up towards you, and then start to walk the hands down the back of the right leg. We can support here, or we're grabbing hold of the big toe with the peace fingers and starting to lengthen that leg. Doesn't matter if it's bent, but maybe just gently encouraging the thigh straight. And then the left hand can come to rest on the left thigh, keeping the left hip grounded. Just finding a round of belly breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more round of breath. We're going to start to take that leg wide as long as you've got space. Hopefully you can take it wide. If not, you can stay with the leg upright. Keep grounding through the left hip. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, lift that heel back to center. This time, lift head, neck and shoulders up, trying to reach left hand down left thigh, head coming towards the right knee. Finding one more round of breath. And then grab hold of the back of the knee, release the leg, and just bring that knee wide this time. So you're wrapping both arms around and it's coming almost as if it's coming under the armpit. So just a little bit of a gentle, different stretch to squeeze that leg in. Start to draw the left leg in and up and swap, releasing that right leg long. So this time squeeze the left knee to chest, give it a big squeeze in, close first, in line with the chest. And then start to walk the hands down the back of the leg or grab hold of that big toe with the peace fingers, lifting that heel up towards the ceiling, not forgetting the right heel, lengthening right toes, pulling back. The hand can come to the right thigh to keep encouraging that leg down towards the mat. Finding a round of belly breath, inhaling, filling up, exhaling, letting go. One more round of breath. Start to take that left leg nice and wide, supporting it where it needs to be. Keep that right hip grounding. In through the nose, out through the mouth. On an inhale, start to bring that leg back to center. This time, lift head, neck and shoulders off the floor. Reach the right hand down the right thigh. Bringing nose to knee, knees to nose. Lovely. One more breath. And then hugging that knee into the chest. This time, grabbing it, giving it a big hug and pulling it to outside towards the armpit. So it's just wide of the torso. And then bring that right leg up too, and reach the arms through, finding both knees wide of the torso, finding happy baby. Feet reaching towards the ceiling, grabbing the outsides of the soles of the feet. Maybe having a rock side to side. See if you can touch the thighs or the knees down to the floor. Gently rocking side to side, maybe even lengthening each leg as you rock. A little extra twist. Rock even. And then bringing the soles of the feet together, start to drop the knees wide, soles coming together, finding that reclined butterfly. So allow the knees to drop wide. You can grab hold of one wrist, bringing the hands overhead in that diamond shape, or maybe clasping each elbow with the opposite hand to find a bind above the head. Just finding a couple of rounds of belly breath here, allowing those legs to let go, allowing gravity to draw them wide. One more round of breath. Release the arms, sweep them wide, give them a little help to bring those knees up so the feet stay in that diamond shaped feet close together. Hands are going to reach up and through. We're going to see if we can reach them in between the diamonds. So a little crunch, a little C crunch. So reach them underneath the heels, lift the head, neck and shoulders, and come back down. Big exhale, reach through. Inhale, this time grab hold of the soles of the feet. We're going to rock a couple of times forwards and backwards, maybe taking this big or small. Maybe taking it all the way over, keeping the chin tucked to the chest, finding a little bit of that plow pose with the hands behind the head, hands holding the ankles or the feet or the shins. Take a little pause or keep rocking if that feels better. One more round of breath as you've paused in your plow pose. And then release the feet, start to roll with a little bit of momentum coming up to a seated position carefully. Nice. And just take a little wriggle, maybe a few little belly dances to release the spine here. We're going to come into swan pose for a little couple of minute hold. So if we don't want to take swan pose, our option here, of course, is to take the figure of 4 on our back, and we can push the knee wide instead. Or we're going to come to swan. So bringing right leg or left leg, your choice to start. Try to find that 90-degree angle with the shin, and then walking the hands up and over to find length through the back hip flexor. Allowing that foot to drop in as much as it needs. Just before we go into our full swan, just place, so whichever knee is bent, place the hand at the center, same hand. Reach the opposite arm up and back, bending the back leg. See if you can reach hold of the inside of the back foot. Starting to draw the foot towards the bottom, just feeling that nice quad stretch release. Carefully releasing that back foot. And then slowly walking your hands forwards, coming onto the elbows, or maybe coming down that little bit further into your swan pose. And slowing down the breath. Big deep inhales, filling up the belly, exhaling with big sighs, letting go. And as we slow the breath down, refocusing the mind, simply giving that instruction, breathing in, breathing out. Maybe coming back to our count of 4. Maybe even holding at the top of the breath for 2, exhaling for 4, pausing the breath for 2, inhaling, hold, and exhaling, hold. Inhaling, start to walk those hands back up, gently lifting the chest, roll onto the hips. You can swap sides or simply take a little gentle roll to the other leg. So the lifting up, coming over that front leg, trying to keep some resemblance of 90 degrees, allowing the shin to come in as much as you need. The same hand as front leg comes to the center of that shin. Start to bend the back knee, reach the other arm, the same arm as back foot to reach into the inside of that back. Arch of foot, starting to draw the foot in towards the bottom, finding the stretch. And you can feel into this. Sometimes you want to open to look towards that back foot, maybe you want to square off to feel more of a stretch through the chest. Today I'm enjoying the quad stretch, so I don't mind turning towards. For me, I really want to feel it down that front of that back leg, front of the thigh, that back leg. Couple of breaths here, finding belly breath. Carefully, gently release the foot. Don't allow it to ping down. Recenter, square off those shoulders, staying upright or walking onto forearms, or coming all the way down, or stacking the fists to relax the head somewhere. And finding those deep belly breaths, breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling for 4, holding the breath at the top for 2, exhaling for 4, pausing or relaxing for 2. And very slowly, carefully start to lift and walk the torso back up, rolling onto the hips. And just taking a little bit of windscreen wiping, so feet wide, dropping both knees to one side, both knees to the other. And then carefully finding a way onto your backs. If you want to grab any socks, any blankets, feel free. We're just going to take a little twist before we get to our final resting position. So we're going to hug both knees into the chest when you get to your back. And then take a little easy twist. So both knees come in, and then start to take both knees to the left side of the body, trailing the right hand and looking towards that outstretched right hand. So again, slowing the breath back down, feeling where you feel this twist, noticing. Inhaling, drawing both knees back to center. Start to roll the legs to the right side. Keep that left arm trailing. Notice where the knees go, if they stack or if one leg is lifted. Finding that belly breath. Coming back to center. Keep hold of that right leg, lengthen the left leg down, and start to take the right leg over. Just noticing the difference when we stretch with the leg out straight, the bottom leg out straight. Looking to our right hand, palm up, finding the breath. Draw the left knee under the right, draw both knees back to center, hug them in, lengthen the right leg out. Keep hold of the left leg with the right hand, start to guide it over to the right side, trailing the left hand. Just allow any clicks and clonks in the back. It's all good, it's all safe, it's just space in between the joints, fluid popping. And just noticing how that feels different to when we have the legs stacked together. And draw that right leg underneath the left, start to come back to center. Maybe taking a couple of rolls or circles with both knees in the same direction or opposite direction, or gentle rock side to side. Any final movements before you come to your final resting position for your version of Shavasana. So maybe the legs are wide, heels in, toes out. Maybe those palms are up, arms wide, and think about drawing the shoulders back and down underneath and away from the ears. And maybe even just gently bring the chin to the chest and place the base of the skull down onto the floor. Closing back down those eyes, tuning back into your belly breath. In through the nose, filling up the belly completely, big deep inhale, exhale. letting go. Allowing the belly to drop down into the spine with every exhale. And just taking these few moments to find your heart center. So noticing if you can feel, maybe even hear, the beat of your heart. Perhaps you can feel the gentle rhythm, pulse, and beat through the rib cage. Or maybe you feel it pulsing through the body. Maybe you can even feel that pulsing sensation into the fingertips, the extension of our heart. Maybe your heartbeat begins to slow down, falling into rhythm with Mother Earth, constant pulsing. It's always there, the rhythm we can bring ourselves back to. Just going to leave you for a couple of moments in silence, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Just gently starting to bring your awareness back to your body, maybe taking a deeper inhale, filling up with lots of energy through the body. Exhale, big sigh, letting go. You can rock your head side to side, massaging the skull along the mat. Keeping the eyes closed, begin to wriggle toes, wriggle fingers, maybe circling ankles, circling the wrists. And take a big stretch overhead or hug the knees into the chest. And then hugging the knees in when you're ready. Give them a big squeeze and rolling onto the right hand side. Just taking a moment there. Curl in a ball. Just giving yourself this big hug and massive thank you to yourself for turning up, for being committed. A big thank you from me for joining me and being here, whether it's live or on a replay. Carefully walking our way up to a seated position. Just keep the eyes closed, keep the chin tucked down towards the chest, keep length through the spine. Finish with a few deep breaths. Big inhale, filling up. Big exhale, letting go. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. We're going to finish with one Om if you would like to join. Big inhale to prepare. And exhale to Om. Om. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Exhaling the hands down through heart center. Namaste. And thank you so much.